Hi, this is Dr. Nick Pennings, Director of the Campbell University Health Center and co-chair of the Healthy Camels Committee. And one of our initiatives is to help you improve your sleep. Sleep is such an important part of our physical and our mental health. When we don't get enough sleep, we actually tend to be more hungry, which then promotes weight gain. Sleeping less than 7 hours a day increases hunger hormone signals and decreases fullness signals. So we tend to eat more when we don't get enough sleep, and that's going to increase our risk of obesity. Some other health risks include increased risk of heart disease, that people with lack of sleep are more likely to have a heart attack and more likely to have a stroke. Lack of sleep can result in type 2 diabetes and also increase the risk of cancer. It's not just your risk of illness that goes up, but also your risk of accidents can go up, that you're more likely to have a fall or get involved in a motor vehicle accident if you have a lack of sleep. So lack of sleep also affects our mental health. We see increased levels of anxiety because a lack of sleep can raise a stress hormone called cortisol, and that can make us feel more anxious or even develop panic attacks. We increase our risk of depression when we are feeling tired, that regulating our emotions becomes more difficult. As a result, we can also have mood swings or be more irritable, more likely to argue with someone. We may have difficulty concentrating or oh yes, memory problems, that we can increase our risk of developing memory problems as our memory tracks are laid down in the process of sleeping. They're probably the most concerning of the mental health issues is an increased risk of suicide with a lack of sleep, that when people are feel very tired, that can result in impulsive type behaviors, feeling depressed, and even suicide. So some signals that you're not getting enough sleep, well, obviously being tired is going to be one of them, but some you may not think are abnormal signs. And such as if you fall asleep quickly, some people say, well, I fall asleep as soon as my head hits the pillow. That's not normal. Normally it takes about 5 minutes for us to fall asleep. And if you are falling asleep that quickly, then that's usually a sign that you're sleep deprived. Other signs of sleep deprivation may be increased impulsivity, some forgetfulness, or just feeling hungrier than usual. If you're arguing with others, fighting with your partner, that may be a sign of being sleep deprived. Or if you're just zoning out, not paying attention when you need to be focused. If you fall asleep very easily, if you fall asleep just riding in a car or watching a movie or watching television, that may be a sign that you're sleep deprived. So some tips for healthy sleep habits: develop a sleep routine. You want to have a regular sleep routine where you go to bed at a certain time, get up at a certain time. That becomes a way of your body getting conditioned to fall asleep. Try to create a relaxing bedtime routine. You want to take a warm bath, read a book, listen to some calming music, something that helps you unwind, rather than watching television or doing email or working on a project right up till bedtime. The brain needs time to decompress and unwind. So you want to do that before you go to bed. Another tip is sometimes we're lie in bed thinking of all the things we need to do the next day. And one of the tips I recommend is keep a pen and pad next to your bed so that if you think of something that you need to do, then just write it down so that you can not kind of keep that pressure on yourself. I want to make sure I remember to do such and such in the morning. Writing it down makes it much easier. Keeping your bedroom dark and quiet and cool. And there's so many lights that come into our bedroom from TVs or phones or things like that that shine a certain amount of light. The darker our room, the easier it will be to fall asleep. We want it quiet, and actually a temperature in the mid-60s is most comfortable for sleep. Avoid caffeine in the evening. And really, you should avoid caffeine in the afternoon. Caffeine hangs around for a long time. If you drink a cup of coffee at 6 p.m., at midnight, there's still a half a cup of coffee in your system. So it takes a long time for your body to break down that caffeine. Alcohol also is problematic. Alcohol tends to make you feel tired and fall asleep, but once that alcohol wears off, then the brain becomes increasingly active, and it's easier to wake up during the night and harder to fall back to sleep when you've had alcohol. Regular exercise helps to improve sleep. You want to make sure, though, that you don't exercise within 2 hours of going to bed, because exercise does get our adrenaline going and does activate the body, and you need time to unwind from that. So try to exercise, but not within 2 hours of going to bed. If you have a chronic sleep problem, then seek professional advice from a physician or other health professional that can help give you some advice and help you treat your difficulties with sleep. For insomnia, the best treatment for that is not medications, but actually something called CBTI, cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. And there are health professionals that can provide CBTI guidance. There's also our employee assistance program can provide counseling. If you're having difficulty with sleep, you can contact our employee assistance program at Campbell. And there's an app that was developed by the Department of Defense called CBTI Coach. You can download and put this on your phone, and has some great tips for how to help improve your sleep and be able to get yourself back to a healthy sleep pattern. Some principles of good sleep health. One, value your sleep. Make it a priority that you set your bedtimes and stick to those bedtime routines before going to bed. You want to personalize your sleep. You want to make it so that your sleep routines are the ones that are going to work for you to help decompress and unwind yourself at night. Listen to your body. When you're tired, go to bed. Don't just try to power through the day and try to avoid sleep. And protect your sleep. Make sure that you have an environment that is going to be quiet, that you're not going to be woken up. If you can avoid that, you want to keep your room quiet and cool. Well, I hope these tips will help you to improve your sleep habits. We will be sending more information about how you can improve your sleep. And our goal is to help you get to a healthy sleep pattern so that you can improve your health and feel well rested.